40 or 50, and you want to make sure you know how to do it before the test on Thursday. Alright? Well, what you should do is go on, look at the quiz, see the questions that we did, and then you're going to correct your answers, right? You're going to write them as a complete sentence, and then turn those in to the fourth period credit. Now, I know what you're going to ask. So.
Cheers, right.
Alright, so, I think I know what you're going to ask. That's what you do. Now, here's what the good news for the people who maybe got a 40 or 50 on their quiz. Alright? Now, if you get a 40 or 50 on the quiz, it's still likely that you're going to pass. Right? Because quizzes don't count that much towards your grade. However, tests count a huge percentage of your grade. So, the person who got a 40 or 50 on their quiz, perhaps, let's have two examples. Right now I have Abigail and Tony over here doing what they're not supposed to be doing. Alright? So let's use Abigail and Tony. Let's say they both got a 40 on their quiz, okay?
No, I got a 75.
Tony, he takes his quiz and he goes home and he looks at the questions that he missed and he figures out what the correct answers are, turns them in, and then he works on the test review, does a study guide, and he comes in and gets an 80 on his test. He did the right thing. He figured out why he missed the questions on the quiz, and when those same exact questions pretty much come up on the test, he knew how to answer them correctly this time. Now, Abigail, on the other hand, she got a 40 on her quiz, and she decided, oh well, I got a 40, whatever. Coach said the quizzes don't count that much anyway, so I'm just putting it in my book bag and going out about my business. Now, she comes in on Thursday. Well, it's likely that she's probably going to get a 40 on her test, right? She's probably going to make the same mistakes because she never went back to look at her mistakes. So, now, here's the problem. If you get an 80 on the first test, I can pretty much guarantee you that you're going to pass my class. However, if you get a 40 on the first test, because we didn't study, that person, I would estimate, has a 75% chance of not passing my class. That's how serious test grades are, because they're 40% of our grade. It's the most part of our grade of anything. So we have to do well on tests and tests. We don't have to do well on quizzes. We have to do well on tests. All right? It's a requirement to pass. Okay. Now, if you have your quiz corrections, at the end of class, we're going to put them in fourth period grade. So since I have a couple of new students here, whenever you turn something in, you just come over here and put it in the fourth period grade. This is what you do. Alright?
14 was
Okay, now,
11 was
next scenario. Yeah. It's supposed to be due today, but I will think of tomorrow for all of that. Okay. Now, next scenario. What if I'm the type of student who's not here on Friday or not in my class yet? Well, in that case, I would highly suggest that you get on the Edmodo and look at the quiz, right? Go through, try to answer the questions, and let me know by Thursday, obviously, if you have any questions about the solving of that, all right? Because the quiz is right there. Anybody can go look at it. So, go take a look, make sure you know how to answer those questions, that way you'll be prepared for the test. Right, we had two versions, A or B, depending on which side of the table you sat on. So just pick one of the versions and go. Okay? So, any questions about what to do to prepare for the test? Also, on Thursday, you got a test study guide, all right, on Thursday. If you don't have one at this point, I'll print some more off and give them to you tomorrow.
we both got.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I'll try to print some before we leave today. Yeah.
Hey.
So, last thing, guys.
you pass that?
Last thing is that
No.
if you weren't here Friday, you don't have a quiz grade, right? So what I'm gonna do is,
What?
whatever you get on the test,
What did I
yours
get?
counts twice. So if you get an 80 on the first test,
B.
like you're gonna do, then I'm gonna put that same grade for your quiz. If you get a 7,
What do I do?
grade if you get, well, if you get one right, it would be a 4. I've never had somebody get a 4. 25 questions.
What is this?
So, let's say you get a 4.
What is this?
That 4 counts as your quiz grade as well.
Oh,
So, you don't want to get a 4 if you miss the quiz on Friday. That one counts,
You want my phone number?
counts twice.
Call me,
Test
okay?
grade and as a quiz grade. Quiz doesn't count so much.
Oh, you just said you're not gonna call me? Oh,
Okay. In your group,
I don't call you.
the reason I have you in groups today is because I want you to talk about these answers before we come to a final conclusion as a class. There's 10 questions. These questions are all on the test, right? All I did was I changed the wording, equation, and repeated, right? You have to know how to do these for the test on Thursday. So make sure that you get that straightened out today in one of the groups. Now, if you look around your group and everybody on the quiz got 7, then you may need to expand your circle and get some new friends, right? Especially, I have a lot of students who did really well in this class. In other words, if you have no idea what you're doing, please don't sit with somebody else who has no idea what they're doing. It just doesn't make sense. Because then you
Tony,
have no idea what you're doing.
you only want to multiply?
Right.
Sometimes.
So, with the piece of paper out. With the piece of paper out.
Man, you're 30, man. Even that session, the paper.
Question 1, what is speed?
What is speed? Oh, I know that.
2 things.
Speed is...
Stick out your nose. It's right there.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Speed is... You're not writing it down. I'm telling you. Speed is...
I'll do it later.
Do what later?
Oh, you want to? About texting right now?
Not right now.
I can't right now.
Girl, ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't even have my What is
You're going to YouTube, Tony. Okay?
10 more seconds. Talk about it.
It's on YouTube.
Your video for YouTube?
Yeah.
No.
This is Vanessa. That's Tony. And that's Cassandra.
For a long time.
For 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
And you're like half of it, right?
Huh?
Like most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, it was all him. It's on YouTube. This guy.